In my twisted little head, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound has morphed into Ninja Gaiden Rebound. Ever stumble into one of those soul-sucking relationships that guts you from the core, leaving you a hollowed-out husk staring at the ceiling? Back at the dawn of this godforsaken year, I dove headfirst into Ninja Gaiden 2 Blacks, Platinum, and damn if it didn't mirror that nightmare. Peaks that soared like forbidden ecstasy, valleys that plunged into utter despair. It wrecked me, left scars on my psyche that still itch till this day. If you're morbidly curious about the face of a man reduced to rubble, we've got that whole sordid tale linked up in the cards. Now, let's fast forward a few battle-scarred months, and this battered survivor stumbles onto the second of 3 Ninja Gaiden drops of the year, Ragebound. It was a romp, sure, a fleeting thrill that scratched the surface, but hell, it missed the raw, multi-dimensional guts I hunger for in my games. Just a rebound fling, teasing my insatiable ninja itch without ever fully quenching it. Hi, I'm Locust, definitely not a ninja, but still the guy who, for some reason, got your fiance's apartment choking on ninja smoke bombs every time you waltz in, and don't even try to slap a ninja fanboy label on me. I'm just a trophy hunting savage with a trail of digital carnage that would make a warlord jealous. I've clawed through the brutal, soul-crushing waves of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, stood proud as one of the first 25 people to lock down the Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition Platinum, according to Exophase Profits, and just for kicks, I sliced through Ninja Gaiden Ragebound's Plat in under a week. Sub 20 hours, mind you, like it's just another notch on my battered soul. This channel is kind of a different kind of beast. A raw, no-filter dive into the chaos. I serve up a street-level review for the casuals looking to dip their toes in the bloodbath, then flip it with a platinum breakdown to see if the grind is worth the tears and shattered dreams. Want one or the other? Timestamps are stashed in the description, sharp and ready to cut through the haze. Look, don't let the intro fool you. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound ain't some dumpster fire of a game. Hell, it's damn good. A real gem in the rough, but that rebound metaphor, it sticks. Picture this, you are fresh off a soul-shredding breakup, heart still bleeding, and you stumble into this knockout of a woman. She's a stunner, looks sharp, smells like trouble, feels like a dream, and the chemistry's electric. But here's the kicker, she gives it all up too fast. No chase, no mystery. You know there's depth there, some hidden spark, but she ain't dropping breadcrumbs to lead you to it. Once you've had your fun, there's no fire left to keep you crawling back for more. That's me in Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Normal mode, it's got enough bite to keep you honest. Hard mode though, that's where the game spreads its wings and soars, test your mettle, slicing through your ego like a katana through silk. But here's the rub. I never felt that itch to dig deeper, to sharpen my skills, grow into the kind of player this game could make me. Sticking with the analogy, I didn't want to build something lasting with it, become a better man for it. Nah, I just wanted the quick thrill, another notch on my belt, the cheap lay, and then I was out the door chasing the next Helldivers 2. And that video's linked in the cards. So where do I begin with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound? How about we talk about the story? Well, it's there. Listen, you're not going to get a riveting narrative out of a game that's primarily pixelated with no voice acting. There's going to be plot, but as far as character development goes, yeah, you're not getting much. The curtain rises with Ryu Hayabusa, the ninja god himself, getting word that his old man's been cut down. He's off to America chasing vengeance like a man possessed, leaving Hayabusa village wide open to the world's nightmares. Enter Kenji Mozu, Ryu's young, scrappy student, all katana and ambition, tasked with holding down the fort. But the second Ryu's gone, the gates of hell bust open, and demons, grotesque snarling bastards, comes pouring into the village like a bad dream on steroids. Meanwhile, Kumori, a sharp-tongued Konoichi from the rival Black Spider clan, is out there with her own agenda, trying to trap a demon lord in a fancy dagger to keep her clan's power-hungry schemes alive. As shit hits the fan real fast, Kenji and Komori, sworn enemies by blood, cross paths in a deadly clash, and through some mystical soul-fusing voodoo, they end up bound together, her spirit hitching a ride in his body. There's a lot of prickly, banter-filled alliance, like 2 alley cats forced to share a cardboard box together. They carve a path through Japan, slashing through demons, robots, shady CIA operatives from ancient villages to construction sites and secret bases. They're chasing down the demon lord before he turns the world into his personal slaughterhouse. Look, I might have sold Ninja Gaiden Ragebound story like it was something you'll see in a masterpiece theater, but truth is, it was a forgettable haze that didn't move me one damn bit. Couldn't care less, honestly. But what's got my pulse racing is the thought of Kenji and Kumori, those 2 rough-around-the-edge fighters, stepping into the spotlight for Ninja Gaiden 4. Spoilers, that doesn't happen, by the way. way. This series loves recycling its players' old faces popping up like ghosts with a grudge, so I'm dying to see if that ending spin these two into reoccurring characters. Again, spoilers, it doesn't. Their messy, soul-tangled dynamic feels like the perfect spark for a new chapter, the kind of origin story that could carve them into the bloody heart of this franchise for years to come. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound's visuals are a deliberate throwback, chasing the ghosts of those SNES-era brawlers with their pixelated charm. This ain't no slick modern 2D side-scroller like Shinobi the Art of Vengeance, with its crisp edges and polish. Nah, Ragebound's gunning for that retro vibe, a love letter to the days where sprites flickered like a fever dream on a CRT screen. Back in the day, the old Ninja Gaiden games looked rough as hell compared to the top dogs of their time, say Mega Man X, which strutted like a peacock while Ninja Gaiden was scraping with the dog shit aesthetics. But Ragebound, it's like they bottled the soul of a top-tier SNES game, crafting the visuals with that pop, that perfect blend of nostalgia and finesse, nailing the form and function of a retro romp that feels right at home in its own skin. Yes, once in a while, like they say, when you defeat a boss, you'll be treated to a quick animation that's not exactly complex in its composure, but it doesn't exactly take you out of the retro feel of everything. While carving my way through Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, I kept squinting at the gameplay and visuals, asking myself, could this thing have lived back when I was still crapping my diapers? Hell yeah, it could have. The color palette, the graphical fidelity, it's like a love-soaked postcard to the SNES era screaming, this would have been a stone cold classic if it had been dropped back then. Every pixel feels like it was ripped straight out of a 90s cartridge, bursting with that retro magic that hits you right in the nostalgia feels. Only thing that grinds my gears is how some obstacles blend into the background, like sneaky bastards. Tough to spot unless you're hawk-eyed, but if I'm being real, that might just be a deliberate choice. Those old school devs love screwing with you, and Ragebound's probably just tipping its hat to that sadistic tradition. Every damn thing in Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, right down to the enemy design, feels like it's been ripped straight from some 80s action flick, and I'm eating it up like a kid sneaking popcorn in a dark theater. The character designs for Kenji and Kumori, they nail it, carving out distinct pixelated souls without drowning in overdrawn detail. Pure retro swagger that hits like a love letter to a bygone era. If you want to boil down Ragebound's aesthetics, picture the raw romantic pulse of the late 80s, early 90s ninja-centric action movie vibes distilled to their core. All bombast, heart, and just the right amount of cheese. Even the level designs got that same cinematic DNA, but we'll dig into that beast when we slice up the gameplay. The soundtrack, honestly, it's nothing to carve into your heart and mail home. It's a missed shot, plain and simple. Sure, it nods to that 8-bit era, all retro and chippy, but there's not a single earworm that stuck with me. No riff that I'm humming in the shower, none of that. The game's visual fidelity nails the 80s action flick vibe, but the music feels like it's half-assing the assignment. Every now and then, I swear, I caught an analog guitar riff sneaking in, which kind of threw me off. If you're chasing a vibe, commit to it, you know? Don't flirt with some out-of-place shredding that breaks that spell. But then, out of nowhere, one track kind of hits like a bolt of neon lightning. I've been vibing with Hitomi Toi for years, and when I saw on Spotify that she dropped a song for Ragebound, my jaw kind of hit the floor. Turns out, it's a song that plays at the end credits. She's not some megastar like Utada Hikaru, Perfume, or Fujikaze, so seeing her name tied to this game was kind of a nice delight. Her track is pure 80s city pop romanticism, like it was plucked from a lost cassette in a Tokyo dive bar, riding that wave of nostalgia that kicked off when Plastic Love got rediscovered like some holy relic of city pop. Funnily enough, just before Ragebound dropped, I showed Hitomi Toi's Deja Bru, No Bru, for Racer X over here, off her first album in 8 years, no less. Go listen to that track. It's a shimmering gem you won't regret. In a world where J-pop's been chasing Western polish, her song feels like a time capsule. Pristine yet raw, like it fell out of 1985. It's proof that David Jamendrew, I might be mispronouncing his name, the mastermind behind this, knew exactly what aesthetic he was gunning for, and that track alone ties the game's form and function into a tight, nostalgic knot. Enough geeking out over J-pop for now, though. As for the voice acting, well, there is none, so you're stuck narrating your own ninja epic in your head. Make it count. I believe in you. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound's gameplay doesn't try to rewrite the side-scroller Bible, and that's what makes it feel like a dusty SNES cartridge pulled from a time capsule. It's not out to reinvent the wheel, it just takes a few core mechanics and sharpens them till they cut deep. The guillotine boost, for example, isn't just some one-trick attack to slash through goons. It's your lifeline for hopping from platform A to platform B, a slick way to dodge a boss's nasty moves, and if you time it like a stone cold maestro, a sneaky path to temporary invincibility. You know that old line, timing is everything. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound tattoos it across your knuckles and makes you live it. The guillotine boost is the undisputed rock star here. Not just some flashy move, but the beating heart of the game's core lesson. Nail your timing or get wrecked. Master the rhythm of these bounces, get that muscle memory dialed to perfection, and you'll slice through to the end without breaking too much of a sweat. The game hammers this home so hard, some in-game challenges, ones that don't even touch the trophy grind, force you to lean into this mechanic until it's burned into your stupid arrhythmic soul, showing you just how damn crucial it was to the whole experience. In Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, you're riding shotgun as Kenji, whose body's got Kumori spirit hitching a ride like some spectral squatter. Most of the time you're swinging Kenji's katana, but there's these quick sort of slick platforming bits where Kumori breaks free and steals the show, slinging nothing but her trusty kunai. That's a split. 90% of the game you're Kenji slicing with the sword, but Kumori's got her moments to shine. Here's the real meat of it. Most enemies drop in one hit, whether using the katana or the kunai like they're made of paper. But then you got these aura wrap bad boys glowing pink or blue, trailing trouble like a wook at a festival, reeking of bad decisions, body odor, and ketamine. Pink ones eat a kunai, blue ones take the sword, and when you nail them, you snag a hypercharge. And that's the good stuff. One-hit kills that mows down every non-boss enemy on screen, leaves bosses dazed, seeing stars, and ripe for you to wail on. Now, question for you guys. Are you pink-pilled or blue-pilled? Let me know in the comments. Here's the kicker. Regular enemies are already one-hit wonders, so the hypercharge isn't about dropping the tougher ones that take an extra swing. It's a power-up that stretches your attack, letting you cleave through 2 or more goons in a single glorious swipe, even if they're spread out a bit. When you spot those aura-clad enemies strutting around, keep your eyes peeled for the heavy hitters nearby, the ones that take more than one hit to drop. They're easy to clock, parked in the most obnoxious in-your-face spots on the battlefield, begging for a beatdown. In Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, you've got a shop full of power-ups to spice up your run, split between 2 flavors. Risk versus reward deals that juice your end-of-level ranking if you've got the guts to gamble, or straight-up rewards that make carving through enemies feel like a walk in the park. Then there's the kunai variations, some real slick options to mix up Kumori's arsenal. Truth is, I barely touched them during my normal playthrough. The default kit was plenty to get by, and I was just coasting just fine. Still, I can't shake the feeling that the game dropped the ball here. It should have nudged me harder to play with all those kunai toys, maybe even forced my hand to dig into their full potential instead of letting me skate by on the basics. The level design is pretty fun in this game, I'm not gonna lie. I really felt like I was back in my aunt's house sitting on that shag carpet playing Mega Man X with some of the backgrounds of these levels, man. I'm not even a nostalgic person, so to say. Now more so than ever do I lean into the power of now. However, I would be naive to say that this didn't evoke some sense of comfort and familiarity. It's like bumping into a preschool pal you haven't seen in forever. That warm, familiar vibe wrapping around you like an old jacket, making every jump and slash feel like coming home. Hell, they even include these smasher things that seem to be in every side-scroller back in the day. I mean, what are these things even? Trash compactors? And what are they even doing in a supposed naval base? Dog, who am I kidding? This place has got lava on the floor as well. Then you got these wild rail shooter levels that toss you onto jet skis, motorcycles, blasting through haunted train tunnels and against these jaw-dropping sunset backdrop. I'm not kidding when I say that this whole game is a love-soaked tribute to the 80s, dripping with that neon-tinted action flick soul from start to finish. Look, I'll be straight with you. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound's hard mode didn't light a fire under me to see it through to the bitter end, but I cannot deny it takes everything that makes this game sing and cranks it to 100. It's like the soul of the game on steroids, demanding ninja sharp reflexes and spatial awareness that'll leave you razor edge if you got the guts to stick it out. The trophies could have been the carrot on the stick to push me there, but the game fumbles that bag, and more on that when we rip into the Platinum review. Check the background footage though. If you see me getting obliterated with a swarm of enemies dogpiling me, that's probably me gritting my teeth through what I could handle of hard mode. No question, it's designed tight as hell, almost impossible to argue with. Alright, let's tie a bow on the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound standard review. And it's a fun ride, but it ain't the kind that tattoos itself on your soul. It's a rebound. Pure and simple, like that girl you hooked up with at a dive bar, mid-depression after a brutal breakup. Her face is a hazy memory, but her name is long gone. The gameplay's tight, a slick little dance of slashes and boosts, but it's not out here reinventing the side-scroller game. If you really like it, what it does is deliver a potential pick-up-and-play vibe with enough replay value to keep you coming back, kind of like Friends with benefits. Plus, hard mode that'll test your nerves if you've got the stones to face it. The soundtrack's decent, but half-asses the retro commitment sometimes, while the aesthetics are a warm, fuzzy love letter to gaming's simpler days. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound's base game earns a solid 7.5 feasts out of 10 famines. Now, let's dive into the Platinum review of this game. And let's also dive back into that rebound analogy analogy for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound because it's too damn perfect. I want you to imagine this. You're in the thick of a post-breakup haze and you stumble across this girl who's got all the raw potential in the world. A diamond in the rough, sparkling under the grime. But her self-esteem is so low, she's handing out the whole damn menu to anyone who glances her way. No questions asked. That is the trophy hunt in Ragebound. Now let's get to the real deal about why we chase those shiny digital trinkets. It's not about bragging rights. It's ego. And not the you're so full of yourself kind, though it very well could be. I'm talking about that Eastern philosophy ego, the false self, the nagging voice that sets you apart from the rest of the world, blocking that sweet unity consciousness. The value of the platinum, well, it's born out of duality. From that primal tug of war where scarcity breeds worth. A trophy is only as good as the sweat and tears it takes to claim it. Ragebound's plat, though, it has the potential to be incredibly rewarding, but thanks to the assist mode, it's too easy. Like it's not even begging to be taken home without a fight. Not one drink in, and it's bending over that bar you met it at, and just hiking up its skirt and spreading its cheeks wide open there at the bar in full view of every drunk and dreamer in the joint. Am I making sense, or is this just static in your head? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know if I'm preaching the truth or just howling to the void. Look, I'm a guy racing against the clock. Though, time is just a construct of the ego, and I'm all about shedding that false sense of self through the daily grind of death and rebirth. What makes these plat videos stand out isn't just a trophy chase, they're a raw, unfiltered diary of what was rattling around my head while I was slicing through these games. You're getting a front row seat into the chaos of my mind. For Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, I kicked off the first playthrough on standard settings, no tweaks, just to see if I had the fire to quote-unquote get good, as the kids say. But by the second run, I was flat out uninspired, caught between dodging my ego like a rusty kunai and wanting to give you a real deal breakdown of the platinum hunt. I cranked up the assist mode, basically God mode, and blazed through hard mode. Did I cheat? Hell, is it cheating if the devs hand you the keys to the kingdom? I'm reviewing the game design here, the whole form and function deal. If assist mode's built in, it's part of the game's soul, not some backdoor hack. Cheating is about breaking the design, and that's a whole other conversation for another day. In my book, I played it straight. But what's your take? Drop it in the comments and let me know. Now let's dive into the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound Platinum journey. Now before I start, what I will say is that I really like the art of the trophy badges for this game. It's sleek, it's consistent, and blown up for at least some of them. I would actually like to frame them up and put them on my wall. When I see art this good, usually it's a pretty good intimation that the trophy hunt isn't just an afterthought in the developer's process of crafting the game. This game was kind of the exception. Like, if you compare the generic trophy badges of the previous Ninja Gaiden game I played, that being Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, in which that whole grueling process is linked in the cards, it's almost like day and night. So yeah, there's definitely a pro for this hunt. I haven't even started this game, and given the PTSD that I faced during Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, I didn't know if I should even take the time to go after the plat in this game. I was deeply wounded, man. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black nearly broke me. Alright, so we're starting off as Joe Hayabusa, slicing through what's billed as his final mission, and it's a wild ride from the jump. Barely a minute in, I snagged the first skull, popping the Test of Valor trophy like it's nothing. Too damn easy. Less than 10 minutes later, I wrapped the prologue and bagged the legacy trophy, feeling like I am just warming up. Another 10 minutes down the line, I stumble on the first golden scarab, nabbing the gold hunter trophy with a smirk. Then, about 10 minutes after that, I'm squaring off with the first boss, despite killing me a few times by blowing a fat flaming load all over me. But, you know what? He was a fun fight. He's also the first punk to kill me in the game. So, when I finally take him down, my health bar is clinging to life like a stubborn spark. I score the Ninja Revenge trophy for icing the jerk who got me in a past life. Revenge is a dish best served in another lifetime. Well, then we run into this geezer, Murasama, who apparently in my head has a voice that is an ambiguous mix between Jewish and Japanese. Japanese? I don't think I've ever met one in my life. How about you? Let me know in the comments.
You are ill-equipped to survive the encounter. Oh no, I feel the golden scarabs have awoken again.
Anyway, just meeting this guy hooks me up with the window shopper trophy for visiting his shop. I bought Blood Frenzy off Shairoku over here, and the game hits me with the better equipped trophy. Soon thereafter, I'm Jorge of the jungle, and I come across this triple scarab, which hits me with the Meloria trophy. And now, not only did I get a new trophy, I've learned a new word. Apparently, in Latin, Meloria means better or even better. Yokatana. About an hour into the session, we face off against this chump Gerthka, who is typically only supposed to give you one trophy upon defeating him. But this time, since I am such a G, I snatched the G from Earthka's name and had that poser cough up his second trophy, showing me the true meaning of the power of 2. Soon thereafter, I meet the woman who will soon be inside of me. Would that render Kumori being a woman stuck in a man's body? Is this an on-the-nose allegory for transgenderism? You can leave it down in the comments, but I probably won't read beyond the first few sentences, but what I can read is that I am on the right path because the path of the ninja trophy is mine for being so damn woke. A bit later, I stumble across some dusty scroll that cracks open a secret ops level, tossing the undercover ninja trophy my way. Over here, me and the Discord buddy start chopping it over the societal implications of the lack of proper action stars in this day and age compared to the 80s, something that this game does a very good job of channeling.
I think it's sad that they're manipulated like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they are weak people, but I mean,
you're not supposed to take advantage of weak people.
Yeah, you're supposed to protect them.
Well, like, I equate it or correlate it with the fall of traditional action heroes in movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude, I was just talking to my boys about this. I was like, we don't have an Arnold.
Yeah.
We don't have Arnold. He never, he's...
They're trying to push Pedro Pascal as Arnold. And
we want you to be a part of the discussion, so join the Discord. But if you're too lazy, tell us how you feel about the state of action heroes in the year 2025, or whatever year you're watching this in. Okay, before I know it, I'm tearing through the Tokyo Metro like a bat out of hell, and man, this level is a gem. Reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, spitting you out into some rugged, rocky turf. Turns out I nabbed every collectible on that run for that specific level, which in turn bags my first silver trophy, the swiftness of the spider, and for piercing Kumori with my quote-unquote sword in that soul-bound dance. Path of the Spider trophy lands square in my web. The final shiny I snagged for that night comes from setting foot on the demon altar for the first time. Too bad Kumori has already been pierced by my sword. No virgin sacrifice to offer up. Don't know though, she kind of seems like a bit of a, bad gal. Doubt she was a virgin before Kenji had his way with her. Either which way, guess the demon overlords didn't give a damn because they still tossed me the demon altar trophy. And that was it for session 1. That's 13 out of 36 trophies, not bad for a 3-hour session, eh? I spent the rest of the night playing Helldivers 2 with the buds, and that is always a good time. Yo, while I got your eyes on me, do you dig the way that I'm throwing it down? Smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It does more for me than you would ever guess. Hell, why not even jump into my streams too? I've got this golden rule. Every time I fire up a game, I'm streaming. No exceptions. It's a constant party, and I love jawing with you guys all in real time. Links to all my streaming platforms are parked in the description below. Get in on the action. The next day, we're rummaging for booty in a pirate's cavern, and appropriately, in classic Japanese fashion, in the pursuit of booty, we are greeted with tentacles over here. Honestly, it was a really well-designed boss fight. About half an hour of trying to figure her out, she molests her last victim. Sad day for Rule 34 fans, happy day for our no-fap warriors that earned the Tentacle Crusher trophy. An hour later, I'm locking blades with Dykrag, and for a solid half hour, the bastard's handing my ass to me on a platter. But then I feel it, that gut-deep spark of victory humming in my bones.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
And wouldn't you know it, sometimes you just know. I take him down, and the game crowns me a Colossal Warrior with a trophy to match. After that brutal 2-hour grind, this Colossal Warrior needed some colossal meditation to reset the soul, so I shut it down and called it a session. Well, next day was in full effect, and a little less than half an hour into the session, this pest makes its way back into our lives, and I'm starting to realize something. This boss, she looks very familiar. Oh man, I've told you before, but if you want more of that trauma, it's going to be linked in the cards. Anyways, it takes us about 20 minutes to figure out the recipe for defeating this blast from the past that I tried wiping from my memory forever, but once I do, flying the web trophy now belongs to me. After slaying Ravashi, that signified the end of Act 3, so we're handed the Blade Walker trophy for completing that task. 2 hours into the grind, I'm strapping onto a pair of those high-risk, high-reward talismans that juice up your rank, pushing you to the S-level stratosphere. I dive back into the open sea chase level, and I nailed it near perfect after a few tries, and bam, the game throws a double-decker trophy stacked my way. Ultimate Ninja for landing my first S rank, and Legendary Ninja for snagging my first S++ rank. Honestly, it is not as brutal as you'd expect. at least on normal mode. At that, we have 18 of the 36 trophies, marking the halfway point on the road to platinum, but alas, no rest for the wicked, for we are back the next day for some more. 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the next day session, I grab Kumori's upgrades for the first time, and boom, the spider's weapon trophy drops right into my lap. I carve up my 3000th demon, landing me the Demon Vanquisher trophy. We keep slashing for about 2 hours, and hold up, is that the final boss already? That snuck up pretty fast. Doesn't take long before I'm handing this guy his ass, and then the game throws me into a wild gauntlet against a whole horde of nasties, and in that chaos, some poor innocent demon caught my 500 hypercharge attack. I told him to empty his pockets and give me his lunch money, but instead he gave me the Way of the Hayabusa Clan trophy. For this first playthrough, I picked the path where Kenji bails, earning me the Inner Peace trophy for unlocking Ending B. Later, I dipped my toes into assist mode to chase what might be the toughest trophy in the game. Took a grueling 2 hours, but I finally conquer level 1-2 without taking a lick of fire damage, bagging the Art of the Inferno trophy, my last shiny of the night. Oh, and look at my kill count. There's an angel number for all of you numerologists out there looking at a sign as to whether or not you should take up violence. With the first playthrough in the bag, it's time to roll up my sleeves for the standard trophy cleanup, a grind that took about 3 sessions. Let's be real. Assist mode turned what could have been a 100-hour slog into a breezy 6-hour joyride. First up, I tackle mission 4-5, making damn sure that I don't plummet into the abyss. 17 minutes of tightrope walking later, the hanging in the bullet trophy is now mine. Next, I hit mission 3-2, leaning hard into assist mode to strong arm my way to challenge of the mountain trophy, and after that, it's more cleanup with secret missions. 2 hours in, I've got enough scarabs to snag the last talisman, ironically dubbed Composed Assassin. With assist mode cranked, my techniques less assassin, a more sloppy god mode brawler, but you know what, who cares? The talisman collector trophy lands in my pocket. Finally, I hunt down every last scroll for the secret missions, wrap up the final one, and bag the Shadow Warriors trophy, and with that being the end of the session, we have only 6 more trophies till we hit the platinum. I kicked off the next session planning to nab the platinum tomorrow, but Obsession crashed into fate, and I said screw it, let's live in the now, baby. Big props to Daddy Eckhart for the vibe check. Thing is, next trophies got me scratching my head like maybe it glitched. I didn't have all the skulls, but when I grabbed this one, pow! Fate of the Giant trophy pops. If you know this channel, you know I'm not one for Fast Quest's busy work, so I ain't about to question this gift horse. I just keep rolling, and an hour into the grind, I spot the last scarab tucked behind some dumb box over here, and my dog goes nuts, barking like he's got a stake in the hunt.
There we go, that's the last one.
Guess he's a trophy hound like his old man. That final scarab gives me the cash to buy the last secret arts item, and by some transitive magic, the last scarab I snag, the weapon hoarder trophy for cleaning out Murasama's shop like every American store in existence during the BLM riots. Thank you, St. Fentanyl Floyd. Stealing all of these trophies is just purely dedicated to you. Things are heating up a little bit, so I take off my undershirt as we speed run the game on hard mode via assist mode, and in about 2.5 hours later, we unlock ending A, giving us the Venom trophy. Well, since I've got that ending, we unlock the bonus levels, which is in essence a boss rush in which we breeze through for the Endless Struggle trophy. And would you look at that? There's only one trophy left. Slay 7 enemies with 1 swish of the sword. Well, I just went to a level condensed with these mutations that look like what would happen if a pregnant fetus had an abortion, so I decided to channel all my Planned Parenthood energy into 1 swing of the blade, yielding me the High Efficiency trophy, which efficiently gave me the Platinum trophy, Be Always Brave, which has a weird ring to it. Shouldn't it be Always Be Brave? This sounds like some English. Be always brave. So how do we rate this Ninja Gaiden Ragebound Platinum journey? Well, listen, I'm going back to the earlier analogy. If the game is a big old slut and is publicly spreading her cheeks at the bar and clearly has no respect for herself, why should I? Listen, developers really could have made this a worthy Platinum adventure, but they devalued it completely with being able to get the trophy with assist mode. Like, listen, I get it. You want the game to appeal to more people and have them feel accomplished, but what you end up doing in essence is devaluing the players that are actually caring about the Platinum adventure by giving Chad-like brutes, such as myself, the leeway to just have my way with her on the bar without even giving the game a bar napkin to wipe the fluids off her face. And while the folks that actually love her for who she is are just patiently waiting in line for a turn that may never come. Call it bad faith, call it vulgar, but I'm just calling it as it is. If it's in the game and an accessible option, it's not cheating because I'm playing the game by the rules. Game Kitchen, Koei Tecmo, please have faith in what you've created. You made such a wonderful game with some severe irreversible daddy issues that's passed out next to a dumpster with mascara bleeding after people such as myself had their way with her. And the worst part is it was all consensual, and I stretched her out to the point where that void is even bigger than it was before I had my way with it. Like, for Christ's sakes. At least don't allow assist mode for hard mode. Anyways, the platinum run could have been a solid 9 out of 10, but the fact that it was so easy just kind of made it quick, disposable fun. A cheap thrill. We're giving this platinum run 2 feasts out of 10 famines. Was I too hard on it? Did I cuck you by breezing through this platinum because you are doing it quote unquote the right way? Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's a wrap on Platinum 31. I'm gonna keep churning out these videos, so if you want to catch action live, links are in the description. Toss me a like, a sub, and smack that bell for notifications if you are not already locked in for more platinum hunts and raw gaming rants. I'm Locust, it's been real, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.